Welcome to Worldview Matters, discussing controversial issues, discerning current events, defending biblical Christianity. No topic off limits. And now, here's your host, David Fiorazzo.
Hey friends, family in Christ, you're in for a treat with today's guest. But first, I want to thank you for your recent donations and support, because we are now available to audiences on harpazo.com, as well as Pioneer Network, Beck TV, God's Learning Channel, and we just thank you for getting us out there. Well, we've got actor, director, producer, and author Kevin Sorbo with us today, and from what I understand, he's still voting for Trump. Kevin, good to connect with you, brother. Thanks for your time.
I am. You forgot all around good guy in that intro. So
all around good guy who does like 50 interviews a day and doesn't sleep. But hey, tell us about your Israel trip. Can people sign up to go with you and Sam over there next May?
Yeah, we do it every year. This year, of course, there's something about a war that broke out over there. So we have a full boat of 80 people ready to go. Next year, if you go to sorboisraeltrip.com, that's one place. Actually, just go to Sorbo Studio. Sorbostudios.com has all the information of my stuff and Sam's stuff and our stuff together. There's a lot of good things that are happening in there. So yeah, check it out. We love going every year, and we call it following the footsteps of Jesus. It's a lot of fun, and just get ready to walk a lot. Just get ready.
Awesome. Well, we just thank you for doing that and being pro-Israel. We don't take that for granted anymore. It's just sad. But anyway, what's going on? Before we get into some of your recent projects, I want to talk about Brave Books, because you wrote a few children's books, pro-God, pro-America children's books. Tell us about the most recent ones you've come out with.
Well, I got involved a little over a year ago. Kirk Cameron and I were neighbors for a long time in LA before I escaped California 5.5 years ago. I now live in the free state of Florida. But I was amazed at all the attacks he was getting when he was reading these children's books. Because Brave Books, go to bravebooks.com. They're directed to kids between like 4 and 10, 11 years of age. And they're morally based. They're not pushing any sort of agendas, that so to speak, and saying you better believe in God. It's just, they're good books for kids. They're good books that give good lessons about how important it is for families, how important it is to find independence, how important, there's a lot of good things. So I started posting a lot of things in this attack on the emasculation of men. So I started posting things like, or wearing t-shirts that said, patriarchy is the future. Then they got a hold of me. Brave Book said, hey, we want you to do a book with us. So I did a book, and it's called The Test of Blindhood. And The Test of Blindhood is about Lucas, a lion cub. That's he's taught by his father about all the good and the bad about being out in the forest, the things that can happen just in case you need help. Well, he's out there with his sisters, and the little sister gets a cut on a flower that he knows is a dangerous flower. There it is, a test of blindhood right there. So he's got to find his own bravery at 10, 11 years of age. He doesn't have time to go get his dad or his mom, so he realizes he's got to save his little sister's life. So it's really pro-child. It's about growing up to be, strong adults within your community, within your family, whether your father or mother, whatever it may be, a husband and wife. And then I followed up with my latest book, The Bare Essentials of Fatherhood, the importance of fathers in the family.
Oh, my goodness.
We just finished the month of June, where we get Father's Day, of course. And my biggest sort of thing that sort of bothers me is, why does pride get a month and mothers get a day, fathers get a day, and the worst of all, our veterans get 1 day, but we get pride a month? Not only is pride the worst of the deadly sins, of course, but what do they do in Pride Month? What is this where these big companies spend millions of dollars promoting Pride Month? And the parades, you see what's going on in the parades. I posted this stuff where they're naked, where they got their privates tied up together, marching on the streets, where they're performing oral sex right in front of these children. It's unbelievable, the celebration of these sexual acts. Why can't Pride have a parade that's just walk down the parade, have a float? But why does it have to be always sexually involved? It's weird to me. And we celebrate it for a month, and we give our veterans 1 day. That's insanity. So God bless what Brave Books is doing, not being afraid to get out the word in a positive way instead of a negative way.
Well, Kevin, let's face it, it's queer all year. They don't just get a month. They do some great marketing all year round with the LGBTQ ideology.
I know they have every alphabet. They're the Pythagorean theorem, cosine, everything. They're taking up everything. And then they took the rainbow. The rainbow's a promise of God. I mean, I want my rainbow back. It's crazy. I mean, I don't get it. I don't care. I'm in the industry. I work with people, of all kinds. And you won't find one. I love they call me homophobic or whatever, maybe transphobic. And I'm going, I don't fear trans people. I don't fear gay people. I work in the industry. I work with gay people all the time. You will not find one in my 45 years in the Screen Actors Guild and 27 years as a director. You won't find one gay person, one trans person that says I was evil to them, because I'm not. I don't care what people choose with the lifestyle. I can feel sorry for them and I don't understand it, but I don't sit there and bash it or attack it. What I get tired of is the constant shoving down our throats with this thing. They scream for tolerance, yet they have zero tolerance for anybody that has a different point of view. They're hypocrites in Hollywood. They're hypocrites in Washington, D.C. Enough of this stuff. I'm a live and let live guy. But stop pushing it down our throats all the time that we have to be tolerant and accept that lifestyle. I don't understand that lifestyle, but I could care less if somebody does it. I'm just getting tired of every movie and every TV show pushing it down our throats.
Well, they weren't very tolerant of you when you were in California. They canceled you, and I think on your Facebook page, and you were one of the poster children as far as the Christian conservatives that were canceled. Sure. They weren't very tolerant, right?
Well, now, it used to be the gays were in the closet. Now the conservatives and the Christians in Hollywood got to be in the closet, which is weird. Yeah. But what's interesting, and you know this. I mean, our founding fathers were godly men. Our Constitution is based on godly principles. It's based off the Bible. Our laws are based off the Bible. And now we want to get rid of God all the way around. When COVID came around, our government showed its true colors, right? They said God is not essential. They canceled the churches, canceled education. But I was kind of happy with education being canceled because 2 million more families are now homeschooling, thank God. And they found out how horrible our education system truly is. But I look at this when they canceled God, they said strip clubs are essential and liquor stores are essential. Costco and Target are essential, but not mom and pop grocery stores that have been around for 3 generations. Our government showed their true colors by getting rid of God, showing that they believe they are God, lowercase g, of course, but they do believe they're God, just like the A-listers out in Hollywood do.
Yeah. Kevin, let's jump into a couple of your projects. Sure. Fascinating. Especially tell us about The Firing Squad. That's brand new. I believe that's coming out. Is it out now or out next month?
August 2nd. That opens on 2,000 screens. It's a wonderful movie. Tim Shea directed it, did a great job. We've been trying to work together for a long time. We finally found a project. We had time together to do it. It's a true story about an Indonesian prison. And my character is an American that was living over there. He was surfing, hanging out. He gets in a fight with somebody. That's the backstory. You won't see that in the movie, but he actually killed somebody. So it's decades later where during his time in prison, he found God. He found Jesus. He became a pastor. He started preaching every day within the prison. And what this movie shows is that in the darkest of places, in the most evil of places, death row in a foreign prison, that you can still find God, you can still find hope, you can still find love, you can still find laughter, you can still find redemption. So it's a wonderful movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it as well. And if they go to firingsquadfilm.com, it's firingsquadfilm.com, they can look at the trailer, they can see what theater it's showing near them. And I hope people support this movie. It's a wonderful movie. And Tim Shea, who was the director, his hopes is that this movie brings 1 million people to Jesus.
Praise God. What we need people to come to Jesus. We also in America, though, need a revolution. How about a Reagan revolution? There's a movie coming out. Tell us about Reagan with Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid plays Reagan. Dennis and I did a movie together years ago, 10 years, called The Soul Surfer, The Life of Bethany Hamilton. Yeah. And Dennis and I became friends through that movie, had a blast doing that movie, true story about her life where she was attacked by a shark, lost her arm when she was only 13 years old. I still remember to this day because I didn't think all these years later that I would actually be in that movie. I was watching, it was like Good Morning America. So I was with Matt Lauer, and Matt was interviewing her. Here's this little 13-year-old girl who's lost her arm. She said this was God's way of helping her get the word out about God. And Matt Lauer didn't know how to deal with it. He was just like shell shocked with this little girl who was more mature about her faith than anybody on the left in mainstream media. So I said, good for her. I mean, how many people would react that way to losing their arm to a shark attack? But it was such a wonderful movie to be in. And here we are years later with the same director, Sean McNamara, directing us in Reagan. And I plays pastor in the movie, and it's out August 30th. So I got 2 movies coming out. August 2nd is Firing Squad, and August 30th is the Reagan movie. So I hope people will check both those movies out.
Wow. Sound like two phenomenal projects. And the Reagan movie, my goodness, politics have changed. For the next couple minutes, just, I know you share a lot. If you follow Kevin on Twitter, I know he's very vocal about everything, and then it's wonderful because we need your voice.
All it is sarcastic truth. That's all it is on Twitter. It's the truth, but it's a little way to get a little punch in there too.
For example, in case everyone forgot, the same people that voted against voter ID wanted you to show vaccine papers to travel. There's one of your ex's tweets.
Yeah, during COVID, I said, if you really want to get rid of COVID, tell the Clintons that COVID's got something on them.
That's awesome.
It will mysteriously, it will just commit suicide somehow.
Yeah, COVID will be gone. Oh my goodness. But I know you've taken a lot of heat through the years. I know you laugh it off. It's disappointing. It must be disappointing, but you laugh it off because it's just sad the way people are so hypersensitive to the truth, though, and they're offended by the actual truth, right?
Oh yeah, they can't stand the truth. It's like Jack Nicholson in that movie he did with Tom Cruise. You can't handle the truth, and it's
yeah.
It's true. It's people just go absolutely crazy. These people wake up every single day and they go, gee, what can I be offended by today? What a horrible way to live your life. I know I got my haters on all, I've got probably over 4 million followers between Twitter and Parler and CloudHub and Truth and all these other sites I post on. And, I know some of these are just these zombie bats out there. They're not even real people, but they're equipped through basically AI just to go after anybody like you and me that says something. But those that wait for me to post to attack me, there's some real people out there, and I laugh at it. It does not affect my life whatsoever. These people that are filled with so much anger and hate in their lives, all they do is affect themselves more, and they dig a bigger hole for them to try to get out of. It's actually pretty sad. What a horrible and sad existence that these people spend this kind of time and energy just hating. It's amazing to me, but I'm sure George Soros is paying them, and they're collecting unemployment by, from your tax dollars and my tax dollars. These are people that have just given up on life. And I would love to do a documentary on them. I love to do a documentary on BLM, certainly Antifa. And number one, take your mask off. You're a bunch of cowards. Take your mask off. It's like these guys now that I'm glad these guys are going after these. What do they call them now? These guys we know that's FBI agents marching around wearing these masks, pretend to be ultra right-wing guys, and they got attacked by the Proud Boys or something the other day and had their masks ripped off, and they cover their faces. I mean, that is just like January 6th. That was such a huge plant of a lot of FBI guys, and it's already being proven more and more every day through video. But, God forbid you see the video, because they'll deny that too.
We've got to take a brief pause, but before we do that, what you shared earlier about being attacked when you post something, and there are people that are super offended by everything, and then they attack you. A lot of people can't do what you do, though. A lot of people can't not take it personally. Give some advice to people that want to be out there, that want to post the truth on social media, but they take the hits and they just really get upset because they take it personally.
Yeah, wake up. Be a lion, quit being a sheep. You're going to get canceled eventually by somebody. Who cares? I mean, this is enough of this stuff. The tide is turning. Trust me. We're at a tipping point now. It's going back the other way. People are waking up. You look at the 70 million people, 70 million homes or more that watched the first debate between Trump and Biden. And these are a lot of people that are Democrats that watched. And I think this is the first time they really looked at Biden. I think a lot of people just vote, whether Republican or Democrat, certainly on the Democrat side. They don't even really look at the news. They don't look at the BBC or MSNBC or Fox. I look at all those things. And you get 3 different stories, obviously, all the time. But I think this is the first time they saw Biden and said, oh my gosh, we've been voting for that guy? That guy is leading the leader of the free world? It doesn't take much to realize that there's a lot of evil within our government. I think our government treats us worse now than the British monarchy did. We went to war, 250 years ago over a 3 cent tax or something like that. The British monarchy was better for America then than it is now. Our own government treats us worse, and all we do is take it. It's not we the people anymore at all, and it's pretty sad. Wake up, because we're losing our country. And Reagan was right. So you're one generation from losing all your freedom. Well, we're losing our freedoms every single day, more and more.
It's true. It's sobering to hear that, but it's very true. Our government has a level of power that the founders never intended for them to have.
No.
So we've got to take a brief pause. We'll be right back with Kevin Sorbo on Worldview Matters.
Today's episode is brought to you by Freedom Project Academy. Take back your kids' education. FPA's fully accredited classical curriculum provides live, on-demand, and homeschool courses built on Judeo-Christian values. Request your information packet and save 10% on tuition by visiting freedomforschool.com. That's freedom, F-O-R, school.com.
So we're with Kevin Sorbo. You can get all kinds of information and resources at sorbostudios.com. Kevin, before we talk about China's control in the film industry and touch on Hollywood Takeover, we just saw a little ad from one of our sponsors, Freedom Project Academy. Let's talk about the takeover of the Chinese and the Marxist influence in American education and what parents can do. Go ahead and share your thoughts on that.
Well, with Epic Times, not only did they funded the Firing Squad movie, they funded this documentary as well. I was part of it. There's a number of people that were part of it. It's already been out. It's out. It's available right now. And it's called the Hollywood Takeover. It's about the Chinese takeover of Hollywood. And it's unbelievable. I mean, people don't realize how much they control everything in Hollywood. I believe they own the AMC theaters as well. And they decide what they can put in movies that make it into China, because China's got a big audience of people. So anything negative towards China has to be taken out right away. At Top Gun Maverick, Tom Cruise had like a Taiwan patch on his jacket. They told him he has to take that off. But then COVID hit, so they waited for the release on that movie until it was over. And during that time, they thought about it, and I'm sure Tom Cruise had the biggest say in this. They kept that patch on him, which if Cruise did that, then kudos to him. But they control so much of this. And if you look at going on right now, we got at least 15 million illegals come across our country in the last 3.5 years. And it could be even more. They have no number on this. Remember, we stay 6 feet apart and wear 17 masks and take 37 jabs. All these people coming in, they're checking for that with them. So it just shows you the ridiculousness of COVID and what they did to people. Yes, it was bad. It was real. But the government made it worse, and the hospitals made it even worse because we were paying them for every COVID death and every COVID transmission, whatever. It was just crazy. And what China's doing now, last I heard 35,000 Chinese came across the San Diego border. How did they get there? I got a buddy who's got a furniture company, makes furniture out of China. He says to travel from one province to another within China takes so much paperwork and so much time. How are these guys getting over here? You don't think it has anything to do with China's government just funding all these people coming to our country, these military age people? I saw the lines. It's not families. It's all, 20 to 30-year-old, 35-year-old men. Yep. But we're like going, oh, well, let them into the country. I honestly think, and here's my next conspiracy theory. That's another thing I posted on Twitter. I said I need more conspiracy theories because all of mine keep coming true. We're going to have a 9/11 on a mass scale. I honestly believe we're going to have 30 cities in this country in the next year to 2 years, because it's unbelievable, the evil that we've brought in this country. We're already seeing it going on right now.
Yeah. So why do you think it doesn't seem, the open borders issue, the southern border, doesn't seem to be a huge issue to a lot of voters? Why do you think that is? Or am I misreading something?
I think people on the right are well aware of it, aware of the problem. Our mainstream media doesn't talk about it enough. I remember I met a woman that said we should have open borders. And I said, what if you went home right now and there was a family of 7 living in your living room? And she said, typical liberal, I'd let them stay. And I started laughing so hard. And I said, give me a break. 3 days into Christmas, you're ready for your family to get out of your house. So I said, fine, give me your address and I'll find a family of 7 for you. I love it. They pretend like there's so much nicer and filled with love and hope, which liberals used to be. Yeah. They're not anymore. They're now the party of hate. They're the party of child sacrifice, because every election, every 2 years, their biggest issue is abortion. We want to keep killing babies. We mean, they love child sacrifice. And they're the party of anger and hate and violence and disruption. That's what they are. I mean, look, I get canceled now. There's Comic Cons I used to go to all the time because of Hercules and Andromeda. The people that run it now, who are super far left liberals, won't let me come anymore because of things I say on the internet. It's unbelievable that they're taking away an additional source of income for me because my beliefs don't gel with theirs. They say they're liberals and socialists when they're in a capitalist business. They're making money off these Comic Cons of all these actors showing up as cons they put together. The hypocrisy is so blatant and obvious, but once again, that's lost on the liberal mindset because I think it's a mental illness personally.
Yeah. Well, let's just face it, from a spiritual aspect, it's demonic. It's demonic with
no question.
Abortion, the hypersexuality, going after children, all these socialism, all these other things. It's evil.
Well, they're fighting right now for a bill in California to make it illegal, to make it a felony to have sex with underage kids. And yet, what crowd is bashing against that? The LGBTQCXYZ, they're the ones complaining about it. And so they're openly saying, wait a minute, we want to have sex with 5-year-olds because that's what turns us on. I mean, it's just, it's almost laughable to think we're at this stage right now. But unfortunately, it's not laughable. It's sad and it's pathetic. And it's, like you said, it's evil.
So I think I talked to Sam, your wife, and maybe it was however many months ago, you guys were just done. You were I think you went to Mar-a-Lago and you were at an event there. What do you think about what's going on with the attacks on Trump, and look ahead a couple months? I mean, give us your Sorbo speculation.
Well, yeah, we were there. That was my second time. I was emceeing the Lincoln Day dinner, which was awesome. And I get to bring Pompeo on stage and Trump on stage and Scott and all those people. It's just a lot of fun. What I'm seeing, what amazes me about President Trump is that here's a guy in 2015, everybody loved him. They wanted him on the talk shows. They wanted him to do cameos in the movies and TV shows. The minute he announced that he was going to run as a Republican, the press hasn't stopped for 9 years. And if you notice the way how people in that office, as your president, how much they age, 9 years later, he doesn't look like he's aged. I mean, the guy, he's smart enough to know and not sensitive to the ridiculousness because he knows it's just a bunch of lying. When Biden said everything that Trump said was a lie during the debate, that's all they got. They keep just saying, "Oh, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie." And I sit here and I laugh at it the whole time. And I'm going to show you this picture right now because I love posting it because we do play golf together, and I know that's going to drive them a little bit crazy.
That's awesome.
I don't care. It's like when I do speaking events and I say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad you're here tonight. And if I just used your wrong pronouns, I really don't care because I don't. It's crazy right now what we're doing, and I'm going to fight back to the craziness and insanity of the world. And we need people like you to keep. We're walking the road less traveled. Trust me, and we got to keep doing it. We got to turn that road less traveled into a super highway.
So, do you think they're going to replace Biden to run November?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. It's just, I think all along, they've always known that Biden is not running the country. You got Obama behind him still and a number of other guys that are doing such a great job. As President Obama said back in 2008, I'm going to fundamentally transform America. Well, he's transforming it, isn't he? Yeah. They love socialism. They love Marxism. They love control over all our lives. They're going to live. Look, I've been to a lot of Eastern Bloc. I've been to Russia. I've been to Bulgaria. I've been to Bratislava, Slovakia. I've been to countries that were run under communism for 50 years. And it's amazing to me that when you get to the government parts of all those cities and all those countries, that's where all the money is. They got the BMWs and the Mercedes, the gold toilets. They live like same as China. China right now, the government's a communist government. But they love running the country in a capitalism. They love all the money coming in the country from America, and they have all the money. And it's the hypocrisy once again is so blatant and obvious. But people, unless they cheat even more in this vote, there's no way that Biden can win his presidency. But who are they going to run? Who are they going to put in the short term? I love the fact that they're talking about Newsom. Look what Newsom's done to California.
Oh,
but people won't look at that. They'll look at, here's a good looking guy. He speaks well. He's got great hair. Let's vote for him. But look what he's done to that state. 10 million people have left California in the last, the last 15 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a buddy a friend of mine in San Diego. He's moving. He left too. He was at a U-Haul center begging and pleading, trying to get U-Haul because there's none U-Haul trucks. They can't get him in there. And there's a picture of of Newsom, employee of the year for U-Haul.
By the way, did I read this right recently? Kirk Cameron finally left, and didn't he move to Tennessee?
Yes. And my buddy Gary Sinise is in Nashville as well. Everybody's leaving. Trust me, everybody's leaving. Awesome. And I've got a number of friends that have left. I got a number of friends that are saying, I can't wait to get out of here. I just got to finish one more year of school with my youngest daughter, and then we're gone. I said, well, homeschool her and get her out of school. Don't put her in public schools.
Really?
California public schools are pathetic. LA Unified is the second worst in the country. Baltimore's number one. But LA Unified has a 54% dropout rate, as low as fifth grade. Think about that. What are these kids doing?
Wow.
Gee, you're not getting in trouble, I'm sure.
So, Kevin Sorbo, we've got less than 2 minutes. You said something earlier that you sensed the tide changing, the resistance, more of the conservative movement, more.
Sure.
What did you mean by that?
More and more people come up to me. Look, every movie I've been doing the last 6-7 years, I do a lot of movies through Sorbo Studios, a lot of movies through other independent production houses. And I get every movie. I've shot, oh my God, I've shot about 90 movies now. I've shot probably about 50 in the last 8 years. And I get another actor, I get a director, I get a hair person, makeup, whatever, comes up to me and says, thanks for being a voice for us. So there's a lot more out there. And I tell them, be a voice for yourself. Quit letting fear control your life. The only person you're supposed to fear is God. It's in Proverbs, check it out. But our government uses fear as an amazing weapon. Well, it's time to wake up. And I'm not going to wake up the sheep because they're going to be sheep, but the lines are out there and they need to start getting a little more angrier, and they are. They're starting to speak up more and more.
And we need more of that. More people need to wake up. Guys, I just want to encourage you, go to sorbostudios.com, but pray for Kevin and Sam. What a power couple that have been so influential for many, many years. And we just appreciate your work, all the projects, great quality stuff. And that's what I'm thankful for. The Christian film industry, you know, 30 years ago, it was like, the quality was, but now they're wonderful products that you guys are putting out. Yeah.
I'd say the last 10 to 15 years, things have changed drastically. And there's a lot of great production companies out there like mine that are putting out movies that make a difference in people's lives. I get stopped all the time and people say, keep making the movies you're making, because I know I can take my family.
Yeah, pray for Kevin's strength, his health, and continued expanding your territory, brother. God bless you. Thanks for your time today.
All right. God bless America, guys.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. All right, guys. Thanks for sharing the podcast, for supporting. God bless you. And as always, keep speaking the truth about things that matter.